Continuing on, I'm going to mash all these together because I took a peek. The articles are not that long. Developer insights for the core gameplay activities. And again, word for word this time. Welcome to the one of many developer insights for Codename Frontiers. Over the weeks and months to come, we will be covering a lot of different topics about changes coming to Destiny 2 next year with these developer dives. Check back with our Paving the Way New Frontiers article for more information on our plans. As always, updated list of these articles are published. Excuse me. Now let's talk about the core gameplay activities. The core gameplay is Destiny's always available ritual activity offering, ranging from strikes to crucibles and events. Going forward, an even wider range of core gameplay activities will provide more variety, deeper mastery, and even better rewards through the introduction of challenging customizations. For TLDRs, basically long story short, core game activities feature wider varieties of new and updated activities across many types, with an updated selection of every major update. Challenge customization will prove a way to adjust activity difficulty with better rewards for those seeking more challenge. And the new portal screen allows for quick access to core gameplay activities, making it easier to find the way you want to play. The problem. In past Destiny releases, all attention has been relatively small authoring of newly introduced seasonal activities, most often with a narrow range of difficulty options, if any. Rewards and objectives have focused all purposeful play into these activities to the exclusion of most others. As a result, the ritual game quickly becomes stale and is exhausting of worthwhile rewards. Any other further pursuit requires a pretty deep knowledge of Destiny or online guides to find a worthwhile reward in older activities. The solution. So here we go, some more visuals. Core gameplay activity offering in the portal. The core game activities are those accessed from the new portal screen and are altogether a selection of several dozen new and updated activities that tie into the current seasonal theme and gameplay meta. This selection is updated every major update and includes the current expansion and any running events. And we can see right here, that is a reuse symbol for Frontiers, but we see Solo, Fireteam, Pinnacle, Crucible, event-related stuff, as well as Tower, and obviously the expansion-related stuff. And I really hope they use this what's the word? Just back screen. I love that screen. So, an early a mock-up that is scheduled or subject to change. For more information about the portal, we will be checking that deep dive later. These activities cover a wide variety of activity types from strikes to dungeons to crucible, and are organized in categories with similar Fireteam requirements, with the challenge customization, which this sounds like they took a cue from First Ascendant, maybe, or their original Nightfall scoring model. If you remember that, you are old. The major change to core gameplay activity or core game activities is that they all support deeper personal mastery and a corresponding deep reward offering. We'll start with PvE activities, then dive into the Crucible and PvP, which present unique challenges. All the PvE activities will now support robust challenge customization, exposed as the new options alongside selecting the difficulty. So we can see a variety of picks here, which I'm assuming a variety of modifiers. They don't show much, but just to be a Europa Strike, assume Glassway, maybe something else. But yeah, they do show a lot of different variety aside from just easy or hard, which is really good. And of course, we do see a variety of possible rewards. I imagine what's highlighted is of course available, and what's not is not. And I imagine the higher you go, as usual, the more you can get. Which, let's see, rules, I imagine that would probably be something like, Extinguish. Gameplay would probably be, health, scoring, yeah, there seems to be some stuff going on here, but yeah. So the Glassway, they don't show much more, but they do show a little bit more, at least higher difficulty, more rewards, and the variety. So work in progress mock-ups, as usual, subject to change. Challenge customization gives you the ability to select and activate challenge modifiers, which affect the activity you are launching. These challenges modifiers say, introduce new enemy combatant abilities to increase their threat, introduce new combat challenges to change how you play, provide incentives for changing up your build crafting, and raise the power target of the activity globally to increase base difficulty. As a player, you will first be able to select a base difficulty such as Expert or Grandmaster. The difficulty will set some base difficulty tuning and a power target, but more importantly, it will determine how many challenge modifiers you can add on. And in some cases, which challenge modifiers are available. Higher difficulty means more challenging modifiers to slot and a wider variety of more of them to choose from. And then there is the reward rating, how you get your stuff. Rising to the right level of challenges can make an activity not only more fun to play, but more rewarding too. All core gameplay activities will support reward rating, which is a combined team and personal score that determines the amount and quality of loot and reward at the end of activity. Reward rating, that's a weird thing to say, is increased by playing activity of higher base difficulty, applying challenge modifiers to have an individual bonus to reward rating, and having personal bonuses from sources like power, artifact, or buffs. Here's how reward rating, got it that time, works. As a team, you will earn a team rating over the activity, depending on a per activity basis. Sometimes these will resemble existing systems like Nightfall Score, but new activity types can have their own way to determine team rating. These outcomes is shared by all members of the team and will always try to mitigate competition between teammates for things like scoring, kills, or specific setups. At the end of an activity, your team rating is multiplied by any personal bonuses you may have. This final multiplied value is your reward rating, and this value is used to determine the quality and quantity of rewards. Reward rating is used to determine things like the quality or the quality tier of the weapon and the armor that drop, or the quality of some usable consumables like enhancement, prism, or ascendant shards. In this way, you can select any core gameplay activity, use your skill, and build to take on more and more challenging versions of it in higher activity tier levels, except Crucible. Crucible is a unique challenge because you cannot simply add challenge modifiers or use the score of the match as a team rating. This is a tricky problem we're still working out. We are working through options like factoring in matchmaking ratings or leveraging existing progressions, but each present unique challenges to our end goal of ensuring Crucible offers a PvP players a fair and competitive path to high tier weapons and armor. Excited on more. So facts. What about expansion activities? Expansion activities such as story missions or destination activities present some unique challenges in how they relate to power and changing seasons. Our intended outcome is that the expansion content is always a great path to start off a season, and we will have a path to higher tier weapons and armor. But that progress via core game activities will be part of the path. Raids and dungeons released with expansions still present a pinnacle challenge for players and will have their own paths to the highest tier of weapons and armor too. Are old activities going away? No, except for some seasonal activities that are normally removed at the end of the year. Older activities will remain available from launch to the destination map just as they are today. Over time, it is our intent to clean up and retire some older activity offerings that are well served by the portal, such as Vanguard Ops. These have lots of ties to existing content though, and we will need to be removed gradually, and how matchmaking will work with challenge customization. For activities that support matchmaking, like those in Fireteam Ops, matchmaking will be available for some preset difficulties, but using a challenge customization to enable different challenge modifiers will disable matchmaking. While Fireteam Finder may be a good way to pick up some slack here, we also intend to feature higher challenge options on a daily rotation, and activities with active bonus rewards. These activities will have concentrated enough populations to ensure that matchmaking can do a good job setting up good matches with solid connections. So that was quite a bit, but now on to the next one. So the rewards section, moving into it, the long story short, weapons and armor will be available in a deeper range of quality across a wider range of activities. Core game activities will have dedicated reward pools for different categories of activities, and gear will be labeled as new gear during the season it is introduced and is easier to recognize and build craft around. Now, the problem. In past Destiny seasons, only a narrow range of activities received updated rewards, leading to a narrow selection of activities worth playing. These reward pools tend to not be very deep either, with most chases bottoming out with weapon perk rolls or crafting recipes and armor not mattering much at all, considering the only intrinsic buff was literally just experience. These problems have resulted in shallow, unsatisfying grinds in this tiny subset of the activities actually available to play, with the best rewards being a matter of luck rather than skill or mastery. So the solution. Ooh, Swordy. I love seeing these in progress bits just because it's random names or textures. So, weapons and armor tiers. Legendary weapons and armor will be available from deeper range of quality tiers that layer onto properties like stat bonuses, enhanced perks, and other benefits. For weapons, this will be similar to how adept weapons upgrade the baseline legendary. The baseline tier of legendary weapons and armor will be equivalent to current day legendaries, with higher tiers being gradually or generally equivalent to adept weapons in terms of upgrades. So we see right here, this is Swordy 8. Man, this is going to be weird looking at it. Oh, there's lots of things wrong here because this is an aggressive frame 3-round burst scout rifle that takes special ammo. We'll just ignore most of that, but we do see tiers that allow enhancements of every single perk, as well as what maybe 2 different mod slots. So we'll just have to go forward and see what these are. These higher tiers of weapons and armor will be available from a full range of core gear game activities, and rewards for higher challenge tiers and mastery of those activities. So the reward pools. Reward pools are complete sets of weapon and armor that are available as a reward for one or more activities. Some weapons are shared across multiple pools, but majority of weapons and all armor are unique to a single pool. A typical pool is a full armor set for each class and enough weapons to provide multiple options for each weapon slot. All of these rewards are available at all tiers, so each reward pool is deep and supports a range of challenge in the activities they are associated with. The major core game reward pools will be updated with every major update and will be with the core PvE rewards shared across more accessible PvE activities like strikes. For the PvP, obviously, Crucible playlist. Pinnacle PvE will include things like more challenging dungeons, and the PvP will be things like Trials of Osiris. There's a lot of words just to say base game, end game. Every expansion will also contain 2 full reward pools: expansion story, rewards shared among missions, exploration, and other activities and expansion content, and then the associated expansion raid and dungeon for the armor there. In addition to the above pools, some activities like events may have additional exclusive event or rewards to add activities such as individual armor or weapons. So the new gear. New gear will be a blanket category for all weapons and armor newly introduced in the current season, regardless of source. New gear will receive a special visual treatment to help players identify which armor sets are new and which may be therefore things like artifact bonuses. Some artifact bonuses, which previously applied to specific perks such as origin traits, will now be pointed towards a wider category of new gear instead. This should provide more and clearer buildcraft options and make for some shorter tool tips in the artifact. New gear may be required in specific optional activities where players are looking for a level playing field. For example, a Crucible playlist option for players who want to play with and against the newly introduced gear, and seasonal events centered on positioning high or posting high scores in specific activities. So for some of the questions. New gear means old gear is being sunset. Not at all. Existing gear remains unchanged and ready for use in any activity except those set aside from experimenting with new gear. It can be infused to achieve the same power as newly introduced gear. The only specific advantage of using new gear will be some artifact synergies comparable to origin trait upgrades found in existing artifacts, so that's great. Can I still obtain old gear? Absolutely. Exclusive gear will remain available from older activities such as raid dungeons and destinations. And what is happening with weapon crafting? It is not going away and will continue to be a way to craft a specific role of weapon. Our intent is for crafting going forward to provide a catch-up mechanism for roles you weren't able to nab from the original sources. This may be because that source is no longer available or was gated by lockouts when it was. But ultimately, we want crafting to support the weapon chase and not replace it. We'll follow up with more details in the future. So that honestly sounds good just because of expanding the idea of what's available. Just to show, in case you don't know, right here is the only 2 perks that would have been affected by enhancing. It would be just that. You might be able to pick some things here, but you wouldn't be able to enhance it. Seeing the idea of more parts of the gun actually being enhanced, including the origin trait, aside from hopefully things like the artifact, is quite good. And just taking a moment to address this, aggressive frame 3-round burst scout rifle that takes special ammo. I know it's in progress and is obviously still working, but yeah, I am liking that idea. But moving on to the next one. The portal is how we're going to be reworking the core set of activities in the future. So TLDR, the portal will offer several categories of activities, each with a wide selection of new and updated activities, refreshing every 3 months with each major update. All activities in the portal will provide updated and worthwhile rewards, so it will be easy to find something to play. The destination map will not be cleaned up will be cleaned up and focused on world navigation and accessing older activities. The problem: the destination map, also called the Director, is Destiny's venerable activity browsing and selection screen. Over the years, it has grown to be a very unwieldy, making it hard to find specific what's current and worthwhile to play, and requiring more expert knowledge to navigate and find what you're looking for. Like the Salvation's Edge raid, it's all the way off screen. Even current players can have finding difficulty finding new activity, or when returning players are having greater trouble. So the portal screen, we already looked at this just a minute ago. The emphasis of this redesign is quick and clean access to a wider offering activities with updated rewards, as well as quick access to the current expansion or event content. Activities will be grouped into categories, more in these below, that expand to present up to a few dozen activities each. Each activity available from launch for the portal will feature a updated reward every season and will present a viable path to the highest tiers of weapon and armor available. Our intent is for more activity launching in season to occur from the portal, and any choice you make will be a path to worthwhile rewards. So the categories. Solo Ops, 1 to 3 player activities requiring very low time or social commitments. These activities are designed for solo players, yet are still fun with a fire team, are easy to pick up and play for a quick session. Solo Ops will also feature a new activity type that we will get into a deep dive soon. And then there's Fire Team Ops. 3 player activities for match-made or pre-made groups designed for fire teams with more cooperation and coordination. These activities will feature things like strikes, onslaught, the coil, and new types in the future. Please don't bring back the coil, I kind of hate it. But maybe a different kind of coil. Now, Flashpoint Ops, 6 player activities for match-made or pre-made groups planned for a future season. This category will be introduced later next year. It will provide more chaotic 6-player combats like offensives. That sounds good. Bring back the Sundial. I kind of missed that. Then Pinnacle Ops, 3 player activities featuring some more challenging content, including dungeons, exotic missions, and full-length onslaughts. Pinnacle Ops have an exclusive reward pool to claim, but success is not guaranteed. And then there is the Crucible, a selection of core Crucible playlists for solo players and fire teams, providing an opportunity to test your mettle against other Guardians, an exclusive reward pool available, and the same depth of tier as categories. In addition to the above categories, the portal also provides direct access to current expansion activities, as well as any other currently running events like Iron Banner and Festival of the Lost. Objective streamlining. The portal screen will also host a consolidated and streamlined side objective like bounties or seasonal challenges. The aspect redesign is still a work in progress, but the primary goal is to greatly reduce the chores that's needed to be done before deep diving into an activity. We'll be sharing more about this change later in the year. Now for bonus rewards, wrapping it up. Every day, several activities in each category will have bonus rewards added to their standing offering. These bonus rewards will include things like specific weapons, armor slots, and currencies like enhancement materials or strange coins. This bonus reward is guaranteed from the first daily clear and available at a higher drop rate on future clears. Activities with bonus rewards will be sorted at the top and easy to find, so that you can quickly scan what's available and decide if any are worth chasing. For matchmade activities, they are also offering matchmaking at a wider range of difficulty options. For more information on this, go back to the deep dive on core gameplay rewards. So facts. Are old activities going away? I believe we already answered this. No, except for some seasonal activities that are normally removed. Yep, that looks exactly the same. What about Gambit? Gambit will remain available to the destination map, but will not be rolled into the portal categories at the start of the year. We are still figuring out our plan for the beloved game mode, not really that beloved, and we'll have some ideas ranging from closer integration into Crucible category and to standalone events that feature it. And will raid and dungeons be in the portal? Dungeon content will be featured in the Pinnacle Ops category with alterations to support challenge customization and reward rating. Raid content will not initially be present in the portal categories. The long clear times combined with a wide variety of experiences prevent some unique challenges we're still working through. However, excited to get this content in the portal in the future. So man, that was a lot of talking. My voice hurts. But going over it, it sounds all very, very positive as a whole. So we had the update that is the 10 years of Destiny. That is the up-and-coming event, a nice retrospective on Destiny as a whole, some nice little content to hold us over while the episode wraps up, because next week will probably be the end of the episode in terms of story, and we'll have more on that to work through with the 10th anniversary. And then there is Frontiers, which of course is an actual future of Destiny, which is honestly just plain great. And then we have the various developer insights, which is how activities are changing, how rewards are getting improved, and the the way that everyone can access the broad spectrum of activities in Destiny, at least to make it a little bit easier. With that, all positive changes, there's nothing that really sounds negative. The only negative I could see is the fact that we're getting 2 medium-sized expansions a year instead of 1 big one. Then again, we're kind of used to getting that. It got a little stale. I kind of miss the... How should I put it? What was year 1 where we had the Dark Below that added a bit to the moon, the House of Wolves that added a bit to, if I recall, Venus, and then we had the Taken King, which was a whole new destination expansion and a whole lots of stuff. I do kind of miss the in-between, because the in-between expansions were kind of nice, especially when there was something so simple, because thinking back to Dark Below, it didn't add anything new, it just opened up a door in a location we went to. Same thing with House of Wolves. While it added the Prison of Elders, it opened more doors and areas that we had never been to and allowed us to access places we didn't think we would ever be able to access. But of course, I'm divulging a bit too much. I'm just going to wrap it up now. It all sounds pretty solid. My name is TheMadScorpyon, and man am I done with talking. I will see you in the next one.